listening to the Intrepid Radio Program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent Talk.
Well, if it looks like I'm late, it's because I am. And if it looks like I'm tired, it's because I am. But I didn't oversleep. I just got a new coffee maker yesterday, a new used coffee maker from my neighbor yesterday who was moving. And so he put a bunch of stuff out and he said, "That's a great coffee maker." And he says, "It works, everything. It's a little dirty." So I polished it all up and I put my coffee in and I went to get it 1 minute before the show started and it hadn't brewed. And so I had to rebrew a pot and it's still brewing. So right now I'm not drinking coffee. I'm drinking something else. So, good to see the slits of my eyes, says Teresa. For some reason, it blocked that at first, and somebody released it. So, good morning, everybody. Raini is not with us this morning. She took the girls out to a scouting event yesterday, and Flynn is now in Boy Scouts, so he's no longer in Cub Scouts. So she did the Cub Scout overnight tenting activity for the commencement for next year. It's the last event of the season. And they have a tenting out event. And that event started yesterday around noon. And she decided to tent it out. And we had the thunderstorms roll through, of course. And it's a little chilly outside. It's only about 57 degrees right now. So it had to be down into the 40s overnight. And so she is still gone over there. They're probably up and around. They probably have not broken camp. She won't be back here until about noon is my guess. So she is not with us today. So I have put the link into, and here I'll paste it in there again. If you want to call into the show and share your thoughts, your ideas, anything that's going on, you can do that and we'll talk. It's not that I am lacking in topics. It's that this gives you a great opportunity to be my surrogate wife today. You can come on in and we'll talk. Master Finn, it's good to see you this morning. And Teresa, of course. And Audrey, good to see you. Audrey, my Audrey. And who else we got in here? Scott Allen is here this morning. And I thought I saw Roger Rabbit. There he is, Roger. Good to see you. I don't want to jinx it, but Carly and Kinsey both are still sound asleep. This is a miracle in the making. Outstanding. That is good to hear, brother. I'm glad that they're awake. Sleeping and not awake. And that's a very good thing. Steve Clark, good to see you, brother. Glad you're in here this morning. And Lewis Boyce, don't see you all the time on Sunday morning. It's good to see you, brother. Glad to have you here. Susie Q, good to see you as well. Glad you're here this morning. And so how is everybody for a Sunday morning? Elderberry, you're here as well. I'm just scrolling through everybody that's here to make sure. And I think I said hey to Master Finn. Master Finn, who was here running the operation until I got in here. And I'm still waiting on my coffee. Frankly, all I've got in here, it looks like black coffee. It's just, it's Coke. It's Diet Coke. Coke Zero. Now, I don't drink Diet Coke because I'm dieting. That's just the name they gave it a long time ago. I drink it because I'm diabetic and I don't drink a lot of sugar. I don't like having lots of sugar. Yeah, Elderberry, I'm late. I know I'm late. I announced it, though. I came in right before 9 o'clock and said, hey, going to be running a couple of minutes late. Was just waiting on my coffee, which is still not here. It's out there brewing in the old pot now. I had to rehook it up and dump everything into that. So Teresa is busy sticking her finger in the light socket to wake herself up. That's fantastic. I didn't know that woke you up. I might have to give that a try. And there's Steph listening. Good to see you. And boo, Coke. You know what? It was the only thing with caffeine in it. Well, then again, maybe this doesn't have caffeine. It's Coke Zero. You know, in the black cans, it has zero sugar. I'm hoping it has, Morgan Snow. I usually do. I didn't go to bed till quite late last night, and I had my alarm. I have my Sunday morning alarm goes off at 8:30 every Sunday. It's set. It's preset, just to make sure I'm awake. And, of course, I snoozed it out until quarter of. And then I got up and went, oh, no, I got to get dressed. And I got to do stuff. And, of course, the cat, Oscar Dublanc. No, it's not Dublanc. Du Noir. Oscar the Black. Our cat, our big, fat black cat, who looks like a black throw pillow if you're walking through the house and you happen to stumble over him. Big. And I've had him on a controlled diet for a year and a half. He's still big, fat, black cat. I feed him a half a can, those little cans, of like Friskies or something like that. Brand, half a can, and a little fistful of hard, chunky, good dietary stuff for old cats. And I mix it all up. He gets that once a day. And, but you know what he does? He'll go eat the dog food. Like in the middle of the night, you can hear him sometimes. If you forget to put the dog food up, he's into it. You hear him crunching down there. Like, hey, get out of there. And he knows right away. Yeah, Teresa, you could have doubled up on the sugar and skipped the light socket. So, Romeldian, good to see you. Drinking tea today. Tea. It's the civilized drink in the morning, I guess. And so, one of these times, there says Steph. Sorry, Steph, I put your post up there, and it's still sitting up on my screen. Let's take that down. So that's the only reason I'm drinking Coke this morning in my Intrepid radio mug. So, how is everybody this morning? Missing my wife this morning? And I'm awake. I'm fully awake, but my face is still asleep. So sorry about that. But I've been awake for almost a half an hour. So a little over a half an hour. And anyway, the big fat black cat. I'm brewing coffee and I'm rushing, splashing water on my face, and the cat is down there meowing at me like, you normally feed me at 6:30 in the morning. It's now 9 o'clock and you haven't fed me. And it, meow, meow, meow at my feet. I'm like, hey, shut it, fat cat. You are not going to die of starvation in the next 10 minutes. I'll feed you. And he sits there, meow, meow. Then he does his brushing his head up against the shelf in there on the floor, and he's down on the, he's bumping, then he bangs his head, bam, bam, meow, feed me, bam, bam, bam. It's like, dude, chill out. You'll be fed. You don't get skipped. You're gonna make it. And I'm talking to him like he understands what I'm saying, like he has reason of some kind. So the cat, the real cat, the fat black cat, Oscar with a K. So, hey, we've got Romeldian is waiting in the chat room, or not the chat room, over here. Let's bring Romeldian in. Let's see what he's got to add to the stream this morning. Hey, good morning, brother.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good.
I've been fine. I should get my headset. Go ahead and start talking. I got a headset that one of my kids has obviously taken because it's not here. Here it is. That way we don't get feedback into the show. So what's on your mind this morning? What are you up to?
Found an easy way to channel Lilith, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've actually found the problem to my blockage.
Yeah.
Turns out
what was the problem with your blockage?
That I've never wanted to put my own name in.
Yeah.
Well, every time a historian would channel my higher self,
Yeah.
I would never let myself be mentioned in any ancient text because I always wanted to give credit to somebody else.
Yes. Well, that's okay. It's okay to give credit to somebody else, and it's okay to take credit for yourself. If you're working on something and you're doing it. And by the way, folks, Romeldian here is working on writing some books, and he's been talking with our old friend Motherella, and so he's working on doing some book work, and he's had a little writer's block, and so hopefully coming out of the haze. I've been there, brother, with writer's block.
I found it a lot easier when I'm talking to her in a more personal manner than like a historian manner.
Yes.
Cause that's where I was initially going with the book. I was going more of a historian. Then I realized Rose and I have a more personal connection. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, I hear you. Mine would be more when I get writer's block, I have to really work hard on blocking everything else out and just getting into my story or whatever it is I want to say. And sometimes it's just time. It's taking the time. It's getting time cleared. So everybody else in my family, everybody else around me understands that, okay, it's time for me to write. And it's like yesterday, just working on logo designs for clients. Yesterday and the day before, mostly the day before, every 5 minutes, my kids bug me and need something. And so it gets, you have all these breaks and things. And when I'm writing, I'll have my kids come in. You've seen it, folks, even here on the radio. When I'm doing the show, I'll have a kid come and go, Dad, do you know where my phone is? And I'm like, I'm doing radio here. And so that's what they do. And so that's my big writer's block is being around kids. The last book I finished, and which was public, it was 2 books ago. It was when I was doing the Reptilians book. We only had Flynn and Rowan, and Ellery was still a bun in the oven. And so I took 3 days, 4 days, and I went to the local hotel to finish my book. So, yeah. What did Elderberry say? Mr. Roberts is lucky he doesn't get docked for being late. Yeah, well, I run overtime enough, so I guess being 5 minutes late isn't going to hurt anything, especially when I announce it ahead of time, Elderberry. Hey, everybody, I'm going to be a few minutes late, so hang on. What do I get docked? I don't get an extra cup of coffee. So, bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm writing a trilogy about the ancient past. Really a mess.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of notes currently right now, and my notes are just scattered all over the place because most of my downloads come to me at work when I don't have nothing to record. It's like,
well,
really?
That's it.
I'm at work. Why do you have to give me downloads when I'm at work with no pen or paper?
You know what I did once? Way back when I was writing The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare, and we're talking way back. I'm talking like, when was I driving? I was driving to Detroit, which is about a 10.5-hour drive from here. And I just took a little recorder and I started reciting the story. I started telling the story to myself. And I referred back to it, but it didn't do much for me other than to get my thoughts organized. So, yeah, and I'll be sitting places. I was sitting in church once back when I first wrote that book in 1998. I was working on that book. 98 and part of 99. That's how old that book is. And I was sitting in church and I had an epiphany. And I started writing on the, took out a pen and I started writing on the notes on the borders of all the announcement papers that they hand you out at the door. And so rather than listening to the pastor preaching, I wrote notes, and that pretty much is what showed up in the first chapter of The Rollicking Adventures of Tam O'Hare. So, and that's when your best ideas come, when you're not ready to write them down anywhere. So always carry a little notebook and a pen or something so you can always stop for 2 minutes and write something down. It's like a dream diary. I keep saying I'm going to have a dream diary. I've only said it for 40 years. I want a dream diary. And do I ever put, once in a while, I put a piece of paper or a little tablet by my bedside, and then I wake up, but most nights where I have cool dreams to write down, I wake up and it's not there. So, they're gone. Matt Finn says he receives ideas like that always while he's at work or driving. So, lost Romeldian. There he is. He's gone. Anybody else want to come in and chat and share your thoughts? Well, here's the link. Boom. You click on that link. That'll pull you up into my wings out here, and nobody can see you till I see you. And then I'll call you in. So there you go. Let's see. Morgan said something. My hubby sits on my bookshelf. Oh, and I talk to him every day. That's pretty nice. Hey, Steve. Hello. Here's Steve Clark. And let's bring Steve in. How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good.
Right on.
I haven't been to sleep yet.
Oh, well, at least you're clothed.
I'm out on the porch, too, so.
Yeah. Well, that's the best place to be naked.
Not this morning. It's kind of cold.
A little chilly here, too, this morning. So what are you up to this morning?
Enjoying the morning, hoping that it don't rain, but we need it for the wheat. But
Sure.
the reason why I'm still up is I spent the night sitting out here on the porch with my Jeannie. As you know, she had passed away. My granddaughter, my next to the oldest granddaughter, was out here getting some of her stuff out of a storage trailer I have out here, and she came across a little jar that had some of my Jeannie's ashes in it. She gave it to me the other night. So
nice.
Been sleeping a little bit better, but last night it was nice out, and I was sitting out here, and next thing I know, the sun's coming up. So
I've done that some days where you just, no matter what's on your mind or what's going on, sometimes just not feeling so tired, and I will sit up and finally realize the sun's shining. So
I was, after she gave it to me, I was kind of up all night, and then last night I slept. Night before last, I slept pretty good, and then last night it's like I was sitting there and I cleaned the jar that it was in and all like that, and put a little label on it, and came out here and sat on the porch, and next thing I know it's night. Next thing I know it's morning. So
yeah. Are you looking out at your property right now, at your land? Show us what your place looks like. There you go. There's the barns. You got trees all around you. Nice big porch.
Yep.
Very nice.
It's about 7 foot wide and about 20 foot long porch.
Yeah, that's nice. I need to get one of those for my kids. We got a little patio out front. It's about the same. It's about 7 foot by maybe 12 feet. So with a cover over it, a roof.
As you see, that's if you look at the barn right there in front of me.
Yeah.
That's some of the trees that I cut down, and then over here.
Oh yeah.
Over 100 trees.
Wow. And so you gotta get somebody. Oh no, that was Doug was saying he had to have somebody come over and he cut down some trees as well.
Yeah,
and
some of the wood for his.
Yeah, to cut it up. He needs somebody to come and cut it up into little pieces for him. So.
Well, I've got that. I've got my brother's going to be coming over sometime. I'm going to let it set like this, and then we're going to trim them up and split them and set them out. And then about this time next year, if nobody wants it, then I'm going to stack it out by the road. And
yeah,
about 14 miles from Lake Captain and about 13 miles from Cheney Reservoir. And everybody goes camping. There's even people that eat wood. So I'm going to just set it out there next year.
Nice.
By the road and let them take it if they want it.
So are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah, but not this morning. I didn't realize it was out, so I got to.
Well, it's still last night for you.
Still yesterday morning, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere yesterday. I stayed home.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Somebody said something about a press. Coffee in the press, said Elderberry. I'm ready. Where is that? And that's my favorite. French press is you take and you grind up your beans kind of coarse, put them in the bottom, and throw in your boiling water, and you let it steam, sit there and steep for about 5 minutes, and then you press it out. And man, that is good coffee. I gotta get a French press again. We broke it. Somehow it broke. So Audrey said, what did she just say? Oh, she said something about Rainy. She said something about Rainy keeps all the diaries. I missed that. I had my eyes. Oh, Rainy makes diaries and journals. So it's not like you don't have access to any Scotty. That's right. And she's still got something to make. And those of you who are waiting on the Egyptian sand diaries, they're still sitting over there. So just a weird, that was like 6 months ago she started those. That I painted those up. I put all the sand on it with glue, and we painted them up and stuff. And so she's still trying to get that finished up. But French press is the way to go, brother.
My horses realized that I hadn't had my coffee yet. They stayed out of my way when I went and fed them.
Nice. I barely speak English before coffee. So that's the way I've gotten.
Tea, but tea ain't coffee.
Yeah. No, it's not. Tea is good at the right time. I can't drink tea in place of coffee, though. I've tried it. And I don't know why. I think we were on a health kick, and Rainey says, you got to start drinking some tea. And I'm like, I can try it. And I tried tea in the morning. Didn't work.
I had two pots of tea last night throughout the night. So
nice. Well, Steve, not that I can't fit him in here as well, but I'm going to let you go and bring Macabre in, Sterling from Japan. So good to see you, brother Steve, this morning. And again, thank you for that gift. I appreciate that. It was put to good use. I'll let you know. So
that's good.
All right, brother. You have a good day.
You too.
Get some sleep. See you later. There he is. There's Sterling in the flesh and blood. How you doing, brother? Macabre Menace.
Hello, Scotty.
Good to see you, man.
You too. What time is it there? What time you got?
Right now it is 9:30 a.m.
Oh.
So what time is it over there in Japan?
11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. So you're up late.
Sunday night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is Sunday night for you over there. Yeah.
You look frozen.
Uh-oh. I might be. I don't know what the broadcast is doing in general. Excuse me. I can see much. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're frozen.
Oh, it just might be internet. And of course, trans-Pacific internet. So.
Wow.
But what's up? What's going on with you?
Same as always.
I can see you.
Yeah.
You look clean and clear, at least from here.
Yeah.
So.
You're frozen. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. It's my video. Am I on wireless? No, I'm hardwired, so there's something in the transmission here that's not holding up very well, but
it's okay.
So what's going on? What are you up to? I know it's late night, but what'd you do on Sunday?
Work. I wrote a new textbook.
What's it about? Language?
ESL.
So now tell everybody, you are a teacher of English language over in Japan, correct?
For 35 years now.
Wow. So I'm going to assume you speak fluid Japanese.
Probably not as good as I think I do, but yeah.
I suppose it sounds the way somebody who's been here who's Japanese might sound. It still isn't their first language, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So last month I wrote a textbook, ESL textbook. So.
Well, what's the textbook about? Text, I know textbook, but what's it out? What's it about?
The title is When Learning English as a Second Language.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, does it have a lot of action scenes in it and fight scenes and fighting Nazis?
That's good. It has a few fictional stories in it.
Nice.
Mm.
Well, you'll have to let us know when that comes out. Is it in English language or is it in Japanese?
Only English, yeah.
Only English. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I don't know Japanese, and I don't have Japanese. I've got one book of mine that was translated into Chinese. This is
Chinese.
That's how it looks. It's the Exodus Reality, which doesn't look. They use their own cover, which is too bad. And
you have to get your Tamo hair translated in Japanese. That's really good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I really like that.
So, well, thank you very much. Hopefully we will. It's hopefully going to go into another edition here pretty soon. My agent is working on it, and so it's out in catalogs and things for schools and libraries and stuff like that. And so hopefully we'll see that thing go into what would be technically the third edition. So
I would like to use that in my classes.
Oh, fun. Well, that'd be interesting. I'll have to find somebody who can translate it for me. So, or my publisher will do that. So,
yeah.
Matt Finn says his dad traveled to Japan in the 90s a few times, and he sold the Japanese.
Go ahead.
And he said he sold the Japanese American manufacturing machines, which was kind of unheard of in the time in the 90s. So.
I was going to say I can't see the chat, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, sorry about that. That's right. Just I chalk it up to intercontinental internet connectivity.
Great to talk to you, man.
Good to talk to you too, brother. Everybody, Sterling is here, and he just wrote a new book and on language from Osaka, and he's live in Osaka right now. Where it's in the future. It's already 11:30 at night there tonight. So
cool, man.
All right, brother. Good to have you here.
Yeah, you too.
You have a good night. Talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, folks. Oh, look who else we have. We have Teresa just came in, and let's get her into the stream. Hey Teresa.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Number 3.
Coffee number 3. Yeah, my coffee is probably brewed right now. I'll probably get you rolling and then step out for 30 seconds to go grab my coffee.
Well, go get it. It's all right. I'll say hi to everybody.
So say hi to everybody.
Hey, good morning.
Let's just
I'll pry my eyes open.
Let's just bring you up. Let's see. How do I there you are. There you go. You got the screen. It's all yours. Take her away.
Take her away.
I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Let me get the comments up here so I can at least see you guys. I'm not used to getting on a screen, let alone a camera, before I've had on my coffee. All right. So I have a funny story for you. Okay. So Ruby decided to wake me up at like 6 o'clock this morning. So I'm laying in bed and I'm sound asleep. And Ruby comes pouncing in and she jumps up on the bed. And I think she's got one of her squeaky toys. It was not a squeaky toy. Ruby found a baby chipmunk. And the damn thing was alive. So she drops the chipmunk on my neck. It goes down my shirt. Okay? It goes down my pajama top. And I'm like, ah! I jumped out of bed. I never jump out of bed because nothing works in the morning, okay? Nothing works in the morning until I've set up on the side of the bed for a while. This damn thing went all the way down my pajama top, down into my bottom part, and it was biting, okay? So I've got little chipmunk bites going down my thigh all the way to my feet. And that damn thing got under the covers. It went to the other end of the bed and it flew all the way across. By the time I scared it more than it scared me, I finally caught it in a pillowcase, and I took it out back and put it out back and put some food out for it and everything. But I've never been awakened like that in my life. and I don't think that there's anything wrong with the little bite marks. Okay, I put some antiseptic on it already, but can you see me standing there? I got one eye open, hair standing straight up, bite marks from a chipmunk.
Nice. We have a chipmunk in our yard, by the way. Oh, by the way, sláinte va, everyone. I've got my coffee.
Yay.
But we have a chipmunk in our yard that some days I would swear it's a groundhog. He's got to be that big, but he's a chipmunk. He's definitely a chipmunk. He's got all the markings. And
how can he be as big as a groundhog?
He's huge. I don't know. Maybe he's eating all the roots of our garden, I think.
A megalithic chipmunk.
Yeah, megalithic chipmunk.
Either that or you have one too many.
He's got great, huge fangs. And makes you think of the killer rabbit from Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Wish that was live streamed, says Audrey. She says, sounds like an episode of I Love Lucy. There you go.
My whole life is an episode of I Love Lucy.
That came up. I Love Lucy came up last night. We were talking about conscription and being drafted and joining the armed forces. Some friends over, and I thought of that I Love Lucy because my neighbor said, Brianna said that she got a thing when she was like 14 saying she was drafted. And we were laughing about it. We thought, well, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was meant for somebody else. Do you remember that I Love Lucy episode where Lucy gets drafted into the army?
Yeah.
And she's drafted because her initials were something like what is it? Her two initials, Lucy. Oh, Lucy. And it was supposed to be to a Lou initial C Ball or whatever her last name was in the show. And so she accidentally got drafted. And they showed her with the haircut and everything. And it was a wig, but back then in the 60s. Yeah. But so it was pretty funny.
I liked her.
So speaking of Lucille Ball. And Lucille Ball, by the way, if it weren't for Lucille Ball, we would not have Star Trek.
True.
I think a lot of people don't know that. Is that if you look at the old Star Treks and at the end, it says it has the logo for Desilu Studios. Mm-hmm. Well, Desilu was Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. That was their production company that put Star Trek together that gave it the green light. And it was initially, there you go. Audrey's got it up in there, the Desilu Studios. Yeah. And even the guy we're talking about the possibility of taking a trip up to see the Star Trek sets in Ticonderoga, New York. Some guy has totally reproduced them, but he got copies of the blueprints of the Desilu Studios. And so he has his whole warehouse area all reconstructed as the old Desilu Star Trek studios. Yeah. And so you can go ahead and see all the sets. So
have you ever had a fantasy of wanting to be on Star Trek?
Oh, hell yeah. Many times.
I know you had a photograph of yourself sitting in the captain's chair.
Well, I never got a picture in the captain's chair. When I got to visit, it's an old story. I've told it before, but we can touch on it here. Yeah. I was out in L.A. back in 1994, and we were presenting animation properties to some animation houses out there. And so we're all dressed up in a double-breasted suit and tie, the big rage in early 90s. And Dan Madsen, my friend, who everybody should know from this show, he got me in to visit the Star Trek sets for the Next Generation. And so I could not. David Rossi drove us around. He was the gopher at the time. And it ends up, you see him in all the movies and stuff now and on stuff. David Rossi's one of the executive producers now. But he was kind of a gopher driving the the golf cart around back then, and he took us in and he introduced me to people and he showed us through the sets, and we went and sat in the captain's chair, and he says, the only thing I got to ask you ahead of time, he says, I can't allow you to take any pictures. And of course, 1994.
Oh, bummer.
1994, we didn't have our cell phones yet. There were mobile phones, but they were usually in a briefcase.
Huge.
And so nobody had mobile phones.
They were like this.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about what they looked like. And but nobody had them. They weren't widespread in 94. But I did have a digital camera with me, a little 2-megapixel digital camera, and Panasonic, and it just took really patchy little, if you try to put them on the internet, some of the old pictures I find that I run across, I throw up on my Facebook, were taken on that camera, and they're really patchy looking. There's no resolution to them, and so if I'd had a camera with me, I would have taken pictures.
Oh, that would have been something. Yeah,
sitting in Captain Picard's chair,
Yeah.
Engage. And
I wanted to be a Vulcan. I wanted the pointed ears,
Yeah.
And then I saw Audrey's pictures with her cousin at the.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, no, not for me.
Yep.
Looks cute on Audrey. But
Audrey needs to come on this morning.
Yeah,
we got to get Audrey on here this morning.
Get up here, Audrey.
Do you have your radio face on, Audrey? You should come in. Audrey met Shatner. Well, we all think she has her radio face all the time. She might go, I don't have my radio face on.
I don't have my face on.
Yeah.
I can't pause.
So I never met Shatner personally. There were several times I was supposed to meet him. Dan Madsen was lining up when I was publishing Intrepid magazine. I asked Dan Madsen, I said, what do you think the possibility is of interviewing William Shatner? He said, I'll ask him for you. And he sent him an article I had written and some stuff. And he said, Shatner had a very positive reaction to that. Yeah, sure. I'll talk to him. Line it up with my publicist. And the publicist was where it got into the gooey, tar baby holdup. And and then they lined up the interview. I was going to fly down. I said, I've got a fund sitting over here. I said, at a moment's notice, I will fly down to wherever Shatner is. I'd love to sit with him and talk with him and have an interview. We'd like to record it and video record it and take some pictures and stuff. And it was all a big green light, and it was a go. And then the date got changed. Then it got postponed for a while, and so it never actually happened. Yeah. And which is too bad.
Audrey, you don't need a hard wire to get in here. If you have an Android phone with Google Chrome, just type it into your password and come in on your cell phone.
That's right.
I'll drop out.
Here, copy this. I can have the three of you on at the same time, but
that'd be
there
fun.
You go, Audrey. There's the link. You just click on that link.
Yeah, just stick it in your browser, Audrey, on your phone.
There you go. Make
sure you're using Chrome.
So, yeah, Raini, the first time I talked to Raini on StreamYard, she was able to connect through her phone. Yeah. So, you can do it, Audrey.
It sucks when you're using an Apple iPhone with StreamYard because StreamYard and Apple didn't drop that relationship.
I've got an Android phone, so
yeah, you're good.
I hate that when they do that to you. Manufacturers, it's kind of like television always being competing for the 7 o'clock hour, the 8 o'clock hour, the 9 o'clock hour, and it's like, hey, we all like to watch all your shows. We don't care what network you're on. And now it's great because you watch pretty much anything on demand now.
They started out a relationship with Apple, right? So the first version of StreamYard, all your Apple devices just ran fine. But as they got more into the YouTube world and the Android world, they started putting more emphasis on their development there. Dropped the whole Apple thing. So it's hit or miss depending on what version of iPhone you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had some trouble early on with that.
And thank you, Roger Rabbit, by the way. He said StreamYard was the best thing to come out of the makeshift studio. Yeah. That's very true. And that was all because of Field Guy. Field Guy said, Scotty, you need to use StreamYard. And I thought, I'm not going to screw around with some new program. I'm pretty set. All my high-techy stuff, which never worked for me right. And this is as simple as signing up and setting things up. All the graphics I have over here on it'd be over here and here. All those graphics, I just create those in Photoshop and you import it. And boom, you're ready to roll.
Audrey, you can get in on a Mac laptop. That's what I'm using right now, an Apple laptop, but not the iPhone. Well, you can try the iPhone. Just try it. If it doesn't work, Scotty will drop it. But it depends on which version of iPhone you have. So give it a try. Just make sure you're using Safari. If
you just click on that link, Audrey, or import it over into a browser window on your phone, just click it. You should show up here in the wings.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking for more surrogate wives. I've got Teresa as my surrogate wife
here.
right now.
Mandy Moo's in here. Mandy.
Oh, I saw she was messaging me, and I all the way from Australia, where it's the future.
Yeah, jump on, Mandy.
Japan. Mandy, you should come on too. I was talking to her the other day about coming on and doing a show with me, talking about some of her various things. So,
Scotty, you should see some of the stuff she's into over there.
We've been talking for the last week off and on. And she showed me some stuff, pretty amazing things.
Yep.
And give me a sec. I'll try my Mac, says Audrey. And Mandy, if you're over there, you come on in too. Well, I might not take more than 3 of you at a shot, but I can handle 3 women at one time. And
use Google Chrome, Audrey.
There you go. There's Sean Bowden. Sean Bowden, StreamYard. He says, I'm kind of a retard when it comes to this tech stuff. Just go over to StreamYard.com.
Yeah.
StreamYard, StreamYard.com. Set up an account. I pay like $29 a month for this account. I think they have free versions. I got the $29 a month version because I wanted to add stuff to it. I wanted to be able to play my videos and bring people in and stuff like this. Yeah, Lewis Boyce, I'm the lucky dog this morning. I got 3 women at one time. I don't know how I'll handle it. So waiting for Mandy to come in and for Audrey. We'll see who gets here first. And Steph. Well, hell, everyone's getting in on this, says Steph. Yes, ma'am, they are. This is a Pile on Scotty morning. So... I need 3 women to make up for the absence of my wife this morning.
That's right. It takes 3 of us, and that still won't do it. That still won't do it.
3 of you normal people. So,
that still won't do it for you.
Sam got his offer to go back down to Dallas with our Mexican crew about 10 days ago, and then the guy went on radio silence. He was going to have he said, I'm going to buy you a first class ticket, Sam. I'm going to fly you down here to Dallas. And then he just disappeared. And just yesterday, we thought, God, I wonder if something happened. We know the guys are our friends and they really like Sam. And I thought it can't be any personal problems. And so we did hear from him yesterday. Finally, he said, I got a new phone, man. And for his new business. And so I think Sam's going to be back in business here. It's I love my son, Sam. If he were 15 years younger, having him here in the house would be no problem. If he was 10 years younger, 5 years younger, even at 15, but he's a 20-year-old. He's a grown man. He's as big as me.
Yeah.
And eats food like a grown man. And we don't have a spare room here. And so we're already busted out the seams here. And so he's just been sleeping on the sofa. And the last week, especially waiting on this thing to come through, he's not out looking for a job and stuff like that. He didn't need to. He's got a job lined up. Just waiting for it to happen, and he's going to walk out the door. And so Rainey's kind of like, we don't have a sofa anymore in the living room, and he eats a lot of food. He's a grown-up person. Now Rainey came into our lives when Sam was 4. So she's been with him really his whole life. And so it's going to be good for Sam. As much as I will miss having my son close by, it'll be nice for him to go down and have his job done in Dallas and get himself a little money put together and things like that. And
that'd be great.
He's real happy about that, and I'm happy for him. So And he's going to be doing it with guys that like him, that he's already has an affinity with them. And who knows? Maybe he'll come back with a Mexican wife. He can hold off on that, I told him.
You just want the tacos.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
I know what you're up to.
If you're going to marry a Mexican woman, Sam, she better know how to cook.
Fajitas, tacos, got it. It's times like this where a little camper trailer comes in handy when a family has a camper in the driveway. If we had a camper hooked up, we could have him sitting in that thing and having his own space. We talked about building the shipping container homes. That's still high on the agenda. We're just not doing it quite yet. Sam was like, "Hey, if you get some property, I'll pitch in on the property." And we thought, get him a single big shipping container and convert it into his home. He says, "I'll go do it on the other end of the property, so I don't have to be in your hair." And I could see him doing that. I've seen some of those shipping container homes. The one I saw that was a single, it had one part of the wall wide open and just big sliding doors put into it. Right.
And the bedroom was in the back end. And it was like a big RV setup. But then it had this big deck built out the front and this big kind of sloped roof over the top that covers the deck. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And I said, Sam, you should build something like that. So
they're okay as long as they're well insulated.
Yes. Here, I got to tell Mandy again, come join us.
Yeah, is Mandy still in there? Mandy moved?
She had messaged me.
Let's see.
So I just sent her the link directly if she wants to come in.
See if she's in here in the text box here.
I don't see anything from her, so stay safe, Steve, said Morgan Snow. So I don't know what you're up to, Steve. Maybe he's going to go to bed. He's been up all night. Steve, good to see you here this morning. Thanks for coming on this morning. Filling in for you were my first surrogate wife this morning, Steve. I got to tell you, you're good looking, but not you don't quite hold up to Rainy. But there you go. I had you for your brains this morning, not your beauty. Oh, we got Blue Alien. Hold on,
Did she make it in?
Here she is. Here's Audrey.
Oh,
hey, folks. Hey, Audrey.
Yay.
What's up, guys?
How you doing? Good to see you.
I've got an echo. How do I get rid of the echo?
Headsets.
Earbuds, baby.
Earbuds.
I got them in.
Oh, you got them in? I don't know why you have an echo then. Headset is so the speaker on your computer doesn't feed back into your microphone and rebroadcast and give you an echo. So I don't know. Yeah, Roger Rabbit, we need spray foam insulation in those shipping containers for sure. Likely 3 to 5 inches thick. It's one of the bigger costs of building those type. Now, our Mexican crew chief, JR, who is flying Sam down there to work with him, he's starting up a shipping container home company, and where he builds them all. And all right, outstanding.
Now you got it. Yeah.
So how is it over there at 8 o'clock in the morning in California?
Oh, you can't see through my window. It's overcast.
Yeah.
It's always overcast, and then it burns off.
Gosh, I'm sorry. It's sunny here today.
It'll be sunny later.
Yeah.
It's just overcast right now.
Now, where in California are you? You're in the big metropolitan Los Angeles area, or are you somewhere else in California?
I'm in Orange County.
Orange County?
I'm about 35 miles from LA.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you're in the thick.
Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, right there. Surf City, USA.
Lucky.
By the way, Matt Finn said his home was basically a shipping container without the headaches. So
that would be cool, though, living in a shipping container.
Yeah, I think so too. And if you go look them up online, there's some fantastic. While you guys are talking, I want to show you something here.
Hey, there's Lori. Hi, Lori.
Sterling. Yeah, probably.
For people who don't know, when I'm talking about shipping container homes, And what they look like and what they're all about. Let's see here. I'm going to go over here to let me search it out here. It's on my Instagram.
Good morning, Lori.
Good English for an alien.
Containers, shipping container homes.
They're cool, those shipping container homes.
There you go. I'm going to show you guys something here. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. And for all of those of you in the chat room, hey, Pure Love Ascension, my yeoman, good to see you. Let's see. Here you go. Let's go over here. Now, if you look at your screen, this is my my Instagram. Oh, by the way,
Cool.
that's a logo
Nice.
I just designed for Rolling Hills Asylum. Just finished it late last night. So
Nice.
she hasn't approved it yet.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway, guys, this is what shipping container homes can look like. And you can do everything from, I mean, look at these. If I blow these up,
Yep.
like there's one style. It looks very modular and all of that. But you can also build
That's
some
cool.
very traditional looking homes out of these things. We were looking at, my kids looked at like this one. My kids looked at that. Now that's a model, I think, but they looked at that and they said, Dad, we want that one. You know, where there's a deck out on top and a little veranda and you got the house down below. Now this is built out of two shipping containers side by side is all that is. And shipping containers run you about $4,000 to $7,000. This is the one Sam was looking at. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's got a single shipping container there. This one might have two from the depth of it, but something with a roof over it that's open air like that for the outside. We were looking at, things like this one right in the middle. We were looking at stuff like that. This is one Sam looked at and thought was pretty cool. That's one shipping container.
One level. Right.
Yep. And he's got a nice big fancy deck on it. Now there's some that look, you can do almost traditional looking houses with these things.
Yeah, almost like an apartment building, some of them.
Exactly. And
Those are pretty.
there's some I've seen here. Here's another single shipping home. Look at that. That's a single container with a big slab. And there you go.
What do they do? Charge you the basic fee for the container itself?
They charge you. You buy the containers. They're $4,000 to $7,000 depending on the size. They come 8 to 12. I think you can sometimes get 15-foot wide ones that are anywhere from 8 to 30 feet long, and that determines your price. You buy the shipping container. And you have a company come in, or you can do it yourself. I've seen people do it themselves, where they.
Yeah.
There's another single one, by the way, where you cut your doors and windows to spec. You insulate the walls on the inside, and you can sheetrock it. You can do whatever you want after that.
Oh, Steffi's asking you, Scotty, what's it like when it rains? Is it loud? Don't you put a regular roof on it, Scotty?
You can put a regular roof on them. And so here now, look at some of these. You take a look at that, and that's probably about 8 or 10 shipping containers right there. You see ones that look like this, and that looks like it's got 3 or 4 shipping containers.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm looking for the ones that look very like this. Okay, take a look at this. There's your before and after. Now they put a shipping container into the place of the roof wall.
They dropped it down.
They dropped it down into an A-frame. Oh, nice.
That's kind of cool. So you can do stuff like that. I look at ones like this, and that draws me in. I like that.
Yeah.
And we probably have a couple of more.
That's cool.
I think of the way the ancient Roman villas looked, where they were kind of built in a big square, and then they had an open atrium to the outside on the in the center of the big square, and all the rooms were all around the atrium. And I thought of taking shipping containers and building 2 stories with a big atrium and a stairway going up, of course, and a balcony around the inside, and then roofing over the atrium. And that would be your big main room. And look at that. Look at that home.
Yeah. Wow.
You even got
Wow.
a swimming pool and
That's
everything.
fancy.
So
Oh, well, you
there
know
you
what
go.
they did with that? They built decking and then they just dropped
Yep.
down a container on each level.
That's it. That's exactly what they did.
Well, now,
And
what's the difference between these and a prefabricated home kit?
prefabricated, you can buy steel homes.
Yeah.
And to do the same, Raini likes the steel home idea as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have a friend of mine up north, that's offering for us to buy his 2.5 acres, and he already put up a big 40 by 60 steel home, and he's decking it out with a house inside. Subdividing it with about half of that still left open for a garage, a 30-foot by 40-foot garage.
Well, here's what I was looking into.
So,
I was looking into getting a small plot, maybe a 1 acre, half acre
yeah,
plot in West Virginia, with right on a creek, up higher elevation so it doesn't flood, of course.
right,
But
right.
you get a plot of land in West Virginia, like my friend has,
I hear.
and you take a platform, you build a platform, and you put one of those cargo pods on there. And,
Yes.
And then you have a carport that you drive your RV into. And so you can take that RV cross country, go where you want, and you always have a home to come back to.
Yes.
And you have this home, and it's just a simple cube on a slab, with maybe some decoration, and it doesn't have to be real elaborate. It's just a place to park when you can't be out on the road.
Exactly. So I think that's kind of cool, and I would do, me, I would do the big grandiose motor coach.
Sure you would, yeah.
The kind that costs you as much as building a house.
Yeah.
But I would do that with my kids. I would put anything we don't need to haul along or can't fit or shouldn't. You put it in a storage unit. And I'd like to take off for a year or two with my kids, school them. They can school the same school district. They can just go computer, same teachers and everything. And we just travel around the country and go see places. Cool. I want to take, when Abby and Bryn were still at home, they were teenagers. I was talking about things we wanted to do that we never did, never could do at the time. But I wanted to do the same thing, or rent a motor coach and go out and see I think they call it the historic triangle in Virginia, where you can go to Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, then to Jamestown, and then to Yorktown. You can do that historical triangle and go spend some time out there. I want to, and I still want to do it this summer. I want to take a trip out to the Custer Battlefield. Which is 10 hours drive, east of us, but maybe more than that.
We gotta win the lottery, man.
I know.
Yeah, we do. We
but
do.
All these
for
places
taking a
we want to
trip
go
like
to and
that,
travel to, we gotta win the lottery.
We could. What do they say about family trips that are always a disaster? That family trips when we were kids, they were always a disaster. There was always something happen. A car broke down. You ran out of gas. Your tent leaked. You did this and that. But they're the best family memories that these kids grown up now have. And I think I would love to just take our tents.
Yep.
And I want to get one of those that pops up in 30 seconds, or less, where you just hit the button and it goes.
I got a good family memory of a camping outing. It's like one of the first ones. My parents joined a boat and camping club when I was little, and we went to Carr Lake in North Carolina. And it was we got there just in time to set up for the evening, and there was a storm coming. So my dad pitches this big tent, and he temporarily ties one of the walls off to the back fender of the car because he was fighting. It's the old-fashioned tent where you have all these frickin' poles.
Yeah.
And of course, my sisters were busy doing their hair in the bathroom up the street.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just me, and I'm little, and my brother, who's a teenager, about Flynn's age, maybe a little older. And he and Dad are trying to get this tent up. The storm's coming. My mom's like freaking out. She's like, I've got to run up to the store and get us some food because I don't have time to cook it now. So she gets in the car, drives off, and the tent goes with her.
Nice.
With my dad holding on
That's
and my
terrible.
brother holding on as she's going up the camp road. And we're like, stop!
Stop!
And she's
That would be
dragging
like your own version of National Lampoon's Family Vacation.
It was.
So
We're like
all you need is
Lucy episode.
all you need now is the dead
Totally.
aunt tied to a rocker on the roof of your car.
We
So-
actually had that. The chairs were up there.
Oh, I thought you meant a dead
We used
aunt.
to take road
No.
trips.
Not the dead aunt.
We
Huh?
did that a lot when I was young. We would
Yeah?
do road trips all the
Yeah.
time when I was
That's
young.
cool.
Yeah, my
That's
parents.
cool.
One time, we went. My grandparents lived in Washington, so we drove all the way up. And we went to Canada, and on our way back from Canada, didn't know what was going on. We were at the border. They wake my brother and I up. And they take all of us out of the car, take us into these rooms, and start asking us questions. They thought my parents were smuggling us because my brother and I were laying on the floor in the back
Yeah.
seat, covered up.
Oh, who are
But,
these?
you know, back then we didn't have to have passports to go
Yeah, yeah.
into Canada. So
Oh,
we had
God.
my
Yeah,
dad
I
had
wanna
to show
ta-
family photos. Look, no, these are my kids. But we were there for a long time. My brother and I had a blast. They gave us cookies and stuff
Nice.
to drink, and we had fun.
Nice.
My parents didn't like it though. But
Hey,
that was
who
the
are
last
these
time we
two
went to
kids you're
Canada.
smuggling into Canada, eh?
Yeah, we looked just
So-
like my mom and dad, so it was
Yeah.
weird.
That's weird.
It was a fun road trip.
Roger Rabbit said Scotty
did
needs
it.
a Prevost coach with a matching painted trailer.
Yeah.
Approximate cost $3 to $5 million.
Oh my
Yeah, you know
God.
what?
Holy
I would have
moly.
to win the lottery to do something like that.
No, you know, you can get a 40-foot RV like I have now that's used. Maybe it's 5 years old. You can get them for 100,000 or 89 to 100.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and they're fully loaded and much more.
That's
updated
where
than what
I
have.
said. That's where I said to Rainey. I said, let's ditch the whole getting a mortgage and building a house idea and sink that money rather into a motor coach.
Yeah.
So, who just came in the door? Oh, you're home. Hi. Get up here.
Is
Ah.
mommy home?
Well, the little one is. Did you walk home?
Bubbles!
Here, you can put this in your ear so you can hear people.
Hi, sweetie. Hi.
There's
Hey,
Teresa
Bubbles.
and there's
Good morning.
Audrey. They always say hi to you when you come on,
Yeah.
but you only see them in type. So there's
That's
Ellie.
right.
How was sleeping in the tent last night?
It was
Thumbs
freezing
up she gave.
cold, Dad.
Freezing cold?
Freezing cold. I was shivering. I didn't go to sleep because I was shivering.
Come over here.
You heard
Squeeze
the
in.
You heard the coyotes from like a mile away, and the forest is haunted.
The forest is haunted
Yeah,
at the
Ooh.
river's edge.
Did you see
Nice.
anything?
there were bones.
Did you see anything? Well, I can't see you. You're
Ooh.
behind nobody can see you because you're
Did
behind
you
all the
see any
logos. of it.
ghosties? Did you see anything?
There were bones, Dad.
Did you see any ghosts, Teresa?
No!
Because I got you on speaker or a
Bones.
headset.
No, but there were bones.
What kind of bones? Were they animal
What kind of
bones?
bones? Animal bones?
No bones.
Human bones?
Human bones.
No,
Ooh, ooh.
Nice. How do you know they were human?
because they looked like you.
They looked like me. There you go. Well, there it is. So, is
Evidence
mom
of
home
Bigfoot.
too?
Yeah. Did you order out last night?
We did. Why?
Oh, now I owe Mom $5.
That's funny.
Mom bet her, I guess, that I wouldn't order out food. We ordered a pizza last night. So, you getting down? Give me a hug before you do. Nice to have you home.
Did you
I'm
have
glad
pineapple
you
on your
enjoyed
pizza?
yourself.
Oh, he dropped.
Yeah.
Okay. Just pulled my headset out.
Carter made me pick up garbage.
You had to pick up garbage?
Carter made me.
Did you have
Carter
pineapple
made
on
you.
your pizza?
No, we just did the pepperoni sausage.
Mm,
Both Sam and Flynn rebelled against me on the pineapple.
really?
It's like-
They don't like
it's
the
like,
pineapple
what?
and jam? They don't like
Apparent-
pineapple?
Apparently not. And I like ordering the Brooklyn style pizza. You know, the big flat pizzas that are all greasy. That's the kind I like having.
You owe me $5
So-
that I can give to Mom.
Hold on. I can't hear you. What'd you say, Ro?
I need $5 to give to Mom.
You made a bet that I wouldn't order pizza, and because you lost, you want me to pay your bet?
Yeah.
I'd like to take this opportunity to teach you how the responsibilities of life. Now, if somebody wants to come and kneecap you to the floor, that's not my problem.
That happened yesterday. Carter beat
Oh, you
me
got
up,
kneecapped yesterday, huh?
and I got chopped in the neck. And
I'm reading this chat. It's hilarious, Scotty.
I'm missing the chat.
Roger Rabbit.
Is the bones? Roger Rabbit says, is the bone? It's the bones of all the children that disrespected their mothers when their dads were gone.
There were barely any children.
What, did that just go right over your head? Look at that. You're way out of the picture.
And these are the people who will be choosing your nursing home, Scotty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully Raini will still be young enough to do that.
There were barely any moms.
There were barely any moms?
Colleen said I dress like a 15-year-old person.
Sometimes.
Oh,
sometimes. You're only 9. You don't need to wear some of the things.
My white shoes.
She's the one who will take her shirts and roll them all up under her prepubescent body. And let's just leave it at that. And she rolls them all up and she's, look at this. I got this midriff on and I just look fantastic. And it's like, even Raini yesterday said, you will unroll that shirt. You're showing way too much.
I ended up not unrolling.
I ended up not unrolling it, she said. Raini's already been making those phone calls, Scotty. She's already looking to unload you. And there it is, Roger. Will you take him, please? You don't have to change diapers on him yet or anything. So, never pay ransom, says Susie Q.
You turn around one day, they're 5, and the next day they're 25.
I know. I got 3 already like that. So, what did Jennifer say? Pineapple and ham. Yummy. Yeah, baby. Pineapple and ham with a little extra mozzarella cheese on it. So,
love.
Okay, I'm going to send you on your way.
We might live down the road from Cora.
We might?
Yeah, if we move into that house in Somerset.
Oh, yeah, I know. All right. So right now we're looking to actually rent another house. Only because we're not quite ready to build yet. We're doing our big...
Mandy Moo's coming in, Scotty. Mandy Moo's coming in.
Right on. I think I showed everybody this the other day. You see this? Yeah. That is the pile of... This is our application missing just the bank statements that we've got to print out and add to it. That's our application for our FHA loan.
Ooh, yeah, look at that thing. It's
so
like
boom,
notebook.
Take a look at that. That thing is like amazingly thick.
Try being the auditor for stuff like that.
Oh, that's what you do for a living. That's right.
Yeah.
So
I had to get financial assistance a few years back, and I had to write. It was a grant, and there was only 15 families in Maryland that qualified for it, and I was one of them.
Oh,
nice. I had to write a proposal, and let me tell you something. By the time I finished, I had 2 notebooks this thick.
Yep.
Of everything that they wanted. Takes. It took me a month almost.
Well, this is
I literally
FHA.
Thousands of pages of documents for one.
That would drive me insane. So I like prepping the package as long as it's easy to prep. They said you could do it all online, but the woman I talked to at the FHA, the farm and homestead and all that stuff, and she said it's always better though if you do it in writing. If you can do it in writing and then it gets in our hands, she said it always seems to work better. And so we went ahead and we did it. We signed everything physically on here and all of that. And so we hopefully will find out soon enough to either start building or buy a house and at least get property with an old house on it. We can build our home, whatever. But we're going to be probably moving into another house in Somerset, Wisconsin, just to for the meantime.
Can you drop the link in again? It's been a while.
Here's the link, folks.
It's been a
while. If you need the link to call into the show right now, we've got Scotty. Teresa and thank you very much.
Absolutely,
sending the good vibes.
Sending them.
We got Teresa and Audrey in here right now. We got Jennifer talking about making It will.
We have our own way of sending the vibes.
It will. I wonder if Raini is gonna come in like the girl. The girls they walked in the front door. What did they do? They ran right back here. I haven't seen Raini yet.
It's quiet.
We'll see
Scotty. I would be very suspicious right now. It's awfully quiet.
Yeah, really. I think she may have crawled into bed. Would be my guess. Raini, you out there?
Probably pooped.
So, yeah, she could be pooped out after a night.
She's pooping out,
or she's pooping.
She's pooping out.
Yeah. I've been on those camping trips, and we were talking about family camping trips and stuff. Now, we haven't done a lot of that other than through the Scouts. And so I'm thinking we need to go do this camping trip and go out west. So it doesn't seem that far away. I mentioned this once before, because we're in Wisconsin. We're right across the river from Minnesota, but right next to Minnesota is the Dakotas. And then the Custer battlefield is in Wyoming, right on the other side across the border of from the Dakotas. And you think, because they always talk about our 5-state area, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and the Dakotas. And you think, it's right next door. Maybe it's a few hours that way. Well, it's about 4 hours drive from here to Fargo, and which is right on the border, Fargo-Moorhead, the Dakotas. I don't even know if it's North Dakota. I think it's North Dakota, Fargo. And but the border between the two Dakotas is right there, mid-Minnesota. You drive straight across. And then you got to cross through the Dakotas. And apparently, I just found this out last summer, when we drove down from here, think just basically the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. We're on the outskirts into Wisconsin across the border. But you drive, it's 950 miles to go out east to Charleston, South Carolina, where my daughter had her wedding 2 years ago. And we took the road trip with the family, just Raini and me and the 3 kids, and we stopped at places and saw things, and like the Serpent Mounds and things like that. But you think that's a long trip, and then I think going out west, that should be an easier trip. It's exact same mileage. It's 950 miles to go out. You're just not going through the hills of Kentucky and West Virginia and all of that. It's a straight shot across the Badlands. And so you're going through Pahasapa, the Black Hills of the Dakotas and things like that. And then you're going out to, so we're going to do that this summer. Abby and Bryn, my daughters, want to fly up here to go with us. And so I think that'd be a blast. Get the whole family. Nice. Yeah. Me and then Sam, and so have me and Raini and my 6 kids, her 3 kids with me. They're basically she's been stepmom since Sam was 4. So,
That's
so it's our kids.
Football team.
That's a football team. That's 8 people. So almost a football team. So
wow.
Yeah, Matt Finn says you'd be surprised where you can apply those loans, sometimes just outside city limits. You're talking about the FHA loans, Matt?
USDA.
Yeah, this is the USDA loans. That's what this is, the USDA loans. Yeah. And many of them, if your income, get this, to qualify, you cannot make more than $120,000 a year. And I said, easy, got that one beat. We're well within the 120,000 range. And if your income is lower, like if you're down into the 30s or the 40s or something, I think even to the 50s and the 60s, you don't even have to pay a down payment.
Yeah.
And they give you extended years on your mortgage if you need it, which lowers your payment. And so we're going through all of that right now, just qualifying to see if we, and USDA loan forgiveness. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, see, mine's a forgiveness in that there was no interest charged. It's an interest-free loan, and if you pay your mortgage payments on time during that 5 or 7 year period, then they knock off 10% each year.
Yeah.
So by the time you get around to starting to pay back on year 7, you start to pay back. It's really it's a small monthly payment.
Hell yeah.
Until you pay off what they helped you with. Yeah.
Let's see if I can make this work. That's a Field guy. Is in here. Yeah. I think he's here. I don't see his picture. We're just hearing his voice. And I got all my logos are up, so your logo is hidden behind. And look, we got Mandy Moo as well. She's hanging in the wings.
Mandy Moo.
So,
I could show my face.
I wonder if I can add her too. Look at that. I can add her too, but
I could turn.
Here you go.
see, I got my logos are all in the way.
Use your earbuds, folks. Use your earbuds.
Hey, Mandy, how you doing down in Australia?
I don't have earbuds. I don't believe in putting that crap in my ear.
Well, you got to put something in your so you don't get the echo back from feedback.
Pause YouTube. That's why people get echoes. You got to pause YouTube. You
Oh,
can't
there.
have-
Yeah, you got to pause your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so, look at that. I have to get rid of my. I wonder if I can get rid of my banners here so I can fit everybody in. Let's see. There,
There you
boom!
go.
Look at that.
There you go.
Nice.
Now we've got everybody.
Mandy,
So how you
you're
doing,
on
Mandy?
mute. You're on mute, Mandy.
I'm good,
Oh.
thanks. How are you?
Fantastic.
Hey, Mandy.
Good to see you this morning.
Hi.
So, like I
yes.
say, everybody coming in is my surrogate wife this morning. So I've got 3 women and field guy.
What'd you do? Wreck your car, Mandy? Did you mess it up? What'd you do?
Gee, my gender changed all of a sudden.
There it is. I'll share my wives with you, field guy.
Mandy, I think Mandy, did you wreck your Jeep?
Oh no. I just had a flat tire.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And now it's a bit bumpy because but very inconvenient.
Yeah. Flat tire, where were you? Were you out on the highways and the byways? Or?
No, I was in the bush.
Oh, that doesn't help. Oh, that's right, because you went out to Ayers Rock and Uluru, I think you said it is in the native tongue.
So I did do that last September, but today I was just out fossicking and adventuring. Yeah.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
Oh, heaps of fun.
She
Got
keeps
to-
coming back with huge stones, too.
Yeah. You got quite a collection of stones going on there.
Yeah. It's
Rainy
absolutely
would go nuts. Rainy would lose her mind.
Oh, yeah. Ours are just like agates and things like that. She's found a couple of fossils, but that's where they're digging up across the road, digging up old farm fields to build new houses. And Rainy's finding all kinds of stuff. So that's pretty neat. I'm getting feedback from somewhere, and I'm not sure where. But if your sound is on your computer, if you have earbuds, put them in, and then we don't pick up your sound. Or if your YouTube window is open, mute the YouTube window, and then we don't pick that up.
I just turn it off.
There you go. You can turn it off.
Oh, that's
So
much
says
better.
field guy. You got no camera, field guy. We just got your Saints logo.
There you
Oh, there
go,
you
I
are.
Phil.
turned it off. That's why.
There's your-
Good morning,
Oh.
Phil. You look good. Why you turn your camera off?
I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, that's better, says Matt Finn.
I just turn it off like this. It works.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to have your face here. We all showing our faces, you know. So,
He's being shy.
well, Mandy, tell us something interesting. You and I have been talking off and on for the last. I lost her.
You dropped her. She must have hit the wrong button.
I didn't drop her. I think I lost her.
She'll come back in.
She'll come back in.
She was the one having the feedback problems.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she usually has her headset on or something.
I don't wear headsets.
There she is.
Headsets. I've never done it. Never will.
Let's see. Why not?
It causes wax buildup in your ears.
Well, yeah. You
gotta
can wear
clean your
headsets. You can wear. Yeah, you can use Q-tips.
There she is. There you are, Mandy.
Yeah, she's back.
You can have them irrigated.
Yeah.
You don't have
And
to.
I only wear them when I'm talking to guests. So I don't wear them all day long. So I get wax buildup in my ears. So yeah, that's it just prevents your own speakers from feeding back into your microphone. So, which in radio, we had that all the time.
My mic is connected to my laptop. It's built in.
Yeah, that's cool. Where do you hear the sound come from?
Oddly enough, the sound on this laptop is on the very bottom. And when I put my laptop on my bed, you hear muffled.
Nice. Yep. You're all muffly. Well, the speakers will always play. The mic, if the mic is set, the mic is going to pick up the sound coming from your speakers, and that's where you get some feedback.
One thing about having a Chromebook, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But
Elderberry says, "Wash your ears, field guy."
Wash my ass too if it works.
Wash everything.
Take a shower.
Get a bidet. I was always teasing Rocky about getting a bidet. I said, I want a bidet. And he says, what do you want one of those for? I said, clean my butt. And he says, well, just use toilet paper. And I'm like, I said, try going out and working on your car or digging with a shovel and getting dirt all over you and taking a dry towel and trying to clean yourself. So that's what that's like. I said, I want a bidet. I want to step on a little pedal and have a little, you could say stimulating, but a little gentle, cool or warm water shooting up a nice stream into my ass and to clean myself. So
Barry wants to know if you use a bidet on your ears.
It's like tranquility. So you can also candle your ears. You get the big cones.
Probably could.
Put your head on the bidet. You put your head on the bidet and let it flush your ears out.
Yeah. Just use the bidet for your ears.
That's Barry's idea.
That's what it is about at the moment, is self-care and what you need to do. So keep pampering yourself and enjoy your bidet.
It's that, exactly. Have a good day with your bidet. So, I slipped in my Australian lingo there. So, yeah. So I need one of those.
Hey, mate.
But Rocky just got one. Rocky just got one of those. And
Did he actually get one?
They got one down there. I don't know if he got one or they tried it out.
The other guys.
That was Ron's bidet.
That's Ron's bidet.
Ron's
that was
bidet.
Ron Phillips. Yeah.
How do you go? I want to come over to your house just to try out your bidet.
Hey, did you hear Audrey's interview with Caitlyn Jenner?
I did not.
You didn't?
You had an interview with Caitlyn
Jenner? Dawn and Donna.
What did it say?
Dawn and Donna.
It was a voice
device.
a voice modulator. So.
Oh.
So Donna was doing Caitlyn Jenner, and I'm telling you, she did a fantastic job.
I was so glad they couldn't see me because I was laughing so hard. I had tears. It was so funny.
You know what? I'd probably vote for Caitlyn Jenner.
I
like her political views.
I wouldn't be surprised if she won here.
Yeah, she should. And great political point of view. Little wacky, but I consider, no offense to anybody.
Better than what we've got now.
No offense to anybody, but I consider somebody who wants to cut off their sex organs and do implants and all kinds of chemicals to make you into an opposite sex. That's a little, to me, my opinion, folks. I'm not unaccepting of people, but to me, that says that's some emotional turmoil going on.
Yeah.
And would I vote for that person? I would vote for him, her. He's the guy I grew up on the Wheaties box with. So, I'd vote for him because I like his political views.
Yeah.
So,
Californians like to vote for celebrities.
I'm getting all kinds of feedback from somewhere.
That's mine. Sorry.
Oh, is that yours? Oh, that's okay.
So is America, are you at a point where you are about to have another reality TV star become a political leader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, the interesting thing, I've heard that mostly from the critics of like Donald Trump. They say, well, you got a reality TV star as the president. And I said, well, what you're forgetting is the 40 years prior to being on TV, he established himself. He didn't make his billions of dollars off of being on a reality show. He made that off of, he owned 500 plus companies and real estate mogul. The way I looked at it, I never quite made the connection with the reality star thing because I never watched the show. I only caught a couple of episodes of that for the couple of years that it ran on TV. But so I never caught the show, but I always knew Donald Trump as a real estate mogul, somebody who had become very successful in business. And his critics will say, well, he's bankrupted. I said, how many? I just asked somebody the other day who was criticizing Trump, and I'm not defending Trump here. I'm just talking about the conversation. Well, he's bankrupted companies and he's this and that. And I said, well, first tell me something. How many companies do you own? I said, he owns 505 companies. And I said, according to the records, he's bankrupted 5 of them over the years. 5 companies. So that's what, 1% of his companies he bankrupted. Now, I know guys that are fantastic businessmen that have bankrupted 1 and 2 and 3 companies sometimes along the way to get where they are, to get their company successful. And so sometimes the best business decision to make with a company is to bankrupt it. And so he bankrupted 5 companies. So I said to this and so anyway, that's my take, Mandy, on Donald Trump. When he announced in 2015 that he might be running for president, I was like, outstanding. I've followed this guy for a couple of decades already. And he wasn't a reality TV star until, what was it? Was it 10 years ago? And he started doing that. But 40 years ago, he was already a multimillionaire. I remember Oprah. He was a good friend of Oprah's. Oprah had him on in the 80s, the early 1983. She was interviewing a young Donald Trump and asking about did he ever have political ambitions? Because he was the big slice of cheese in New York. And he says, well, he says, I won't put it off. He says, but not as a going concern right now. But his views haven't really changed a bit since the 80s. So that's all in response to the reality show thing. I think reality show people and actors probably get a lot of attention in the political arena if they state their politics and say, I'm going to run now. They've got a built-in audience already. Like my wife is like, oh, if Dwayne Johnson runs, The Rock, he runs, I'm voting for him. And I said, well, what does he stand for? She goes, I don't care.
You remember the cute
he's
little
a
guy?
damn traitor.
You remember the cute
Rock
little guy on the
traitor.
You remember that cute little guy on the Love Boat?
The little guy.
Him?
Oh yeah. Wasn't he Gopher?
Gopher. And he ended up. I forget his real name, but he ended up in the Congress. Didn't he?
He was in Congress.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
Governor of California.
Ronald Reagan.
Governor of California. Jesse Ventura was the governor of Minnesota. Yeah. I voted for him, by the way.
Yeah.
So, because I liked his views. You know what made me? You know what? I've told this little story before. You know what made me? Convinced me I needed to vote for Jesse Ventura, even though I didn't agree with him on all his politics. He was up in a small town north of here, Eveleth, Minnesota. And he's walking down the street and the cameras are all on him and there's crowds around him and he's waving to people and he's walking crowded just out there. Somebody yells something like, yeah, we don't want you as governor anyway, dumbass, or something like that. And they bleep it out, of course. It was on the news. And Ventura looks at him over the crowd. He goes, yeah, I don't want your vote anyway, dumbass. And I thought, sold. Anybody running in politics who can be honest, that honest, I want them in. So anyway.
Paul.
Yeah, he was a Democrat first.
Hi, Paul.
I had just asked because I'm just interested in like democracy cycles. So it's sort of we're seeing democracy sort of falling everywhere, and it's proven to only last 250 years. And so it's quite interesting to see because we're a lot of countries at that 250 year mark, and we're seeing a lot of democracy systems as such just become sort of jokes. I don't know what it's like over there, but over here
it's a joke over here right now. But not to turn the show. This is not politics to me. This is all about who you are. This is philosophy of government. When I talk about the Constitution and so on, and I remind people, and we've heard it so much that some people think it's become cliche, but the United States isn't a democracy. We are not a democracy, capital D democracy. We have democracy, but what we are is a constitutionally limited republic. We're representative government. Yeah. We vote in Teresa, Audrey, Field Guy. We vote in the people that we think will best represent our cause. And this is why you have the political parties here. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be representative government. And so it's not one man, one vote. This is the big thing with the last election, all the controversy with the last presidential election. It's not, we don't have a system of one man, one vote. We have an electoral college, which is basically you cast your vote and then the states, independent states, vote in the president. And sometimes those electoral votes represent the popular vote. That's why you can hear, like, Trump did not win the popular vote against Hillary Clinton. She won more popular votes. But the Electoral College voted him in. He won the electoral vote. And people say, well, how can that work? It works because that's the way our system of government works. We're a republic. We're representative. And then people are like, this whole thing with the last election, every vote should count. Even the ones that were cast, you would say, illegally. There was all this question about what was legal or illegal. And it's not about illegality. It's that in a republic like ours, where it's not one man, one vote, there are rules and regulations to voting. You could cast your vote at 30 seconds past midnight and it doesn't count. You know why it doesn't count? Because you're outside the standard of rules and regulations. It doesn't matter. There are certain, and this was the big contention with Trump calling fraud on the vote, is that a lot of the states, according to the Constitution, the states, if they're going to change voting laws in their state, you can't have an edict delivered by a governor or a secretary of state or whatever. It has to be voted on by the state legislatures and approved. They didn't do that in like 5 or 6 different states. And so those votes are technically, by the rules, invalid. And because somebody issued an edict and said, this is the way it's going to be, an executive order or whatever, and it's being challenged. And people say, well, Trump's challenging that. It's all been thrown out because it's all idiocy. No, it's been thrown out because nobody wants to tackle it. They're not throwing out the issue. They're sending it to the next court up. Yeah. And so that's the big thing we have going on right now, is that there were so many rules broken. If you want to call it fraud, you say there has to be a perpetrator. Somebody has to perpetrate fraud on somebody. Well, I think what happened was you had so much voting irregularity there was the massive movement to vote Trump out of office. So they pulled out all the stops they could to accomplish that end. The problem is, in accomplishing that, they broke the rules and the regulations, but nobody will challenge it. And so you have a country like ours, 250 years into our Constitution, 250 years into a republic, and you know what you're seeing falling apart in our country, all the idiocy in our country, is that nobody wants to abide by the rules anymore. They want to take the Constitution and tear it up. And you do that, you have anarchy. You got to abide by the rules. And so that's our big problem. We're not a democracy. We are a republic, a constitutionally limited representative form of government. And and it's a very different form. It's not a pure democracy. We have democracy, which means we have freedom to vote. But there's rules and regulations. So anyway, not to give us civics. To me, that's not politics. That's civics. That's just understanding how your country works, how your Constitution works. And then additionally, I got to add, there's a lot of people who want to change the Constitution. You know what? And they say, well, the founders, it's supposed to be a living document. And I said, well, yeah, you can change the Constitution. It's written into the Constitution. And you know how you change the Constitution? You go through the process. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
Come over here. Look what the raccoons from the woods dragged in.
Hey. Hi, Raini.
You smell like bacon.
I'm cooking. I'm hungry.
She smells like.
You smell like
All right,
bacon.
guys out there, all you think my wife is good looking and hot. Right now, she also smells like bacon.
Bacon.
The perfect
There
woman.
you go. Headset.
Bacon soul.
The perfect woman.
Oh, you smell
Audrey.
like bacon.
No, Audrey. The perfect woman is taco. Taco.
Oh, taco. Yeah.
Tacos.
Bacon tacos.
Tacos are life.
How are you,
You can
Rainy?
make
You
the
look
shell
great.
out of bacon.
You went through camp and you still look wonderful.
Yeah, thanks. I haven't even brushed my hair or washed my face yet. I'm still in my camp clothes.
You smell like a mix of campfire and bacon.
I figured I would make myself breakfast, take a bath, and I'm going to take a nap.
Taking
Here
a
you
bath.
go.
I
Much
didn't-
to
I
need.
didn't- I didn't
Much
sleep
needed.
all night.
I will have the bubble bath cam set up and
Right.
Did you have spiders in the tent, Rainy?
No spiders. It was a brand new tent, so we got to break in the tent. But the sleeping bag was supposed to be rated for like 40-degree weather, and it got to 47, and I froze my butt off all night.
you.
So,
You have to have. Did you have the air mattresses?
yep.
See, now that's when Flynn and I slept out in the caves a couple of months ago now.
Yes, Roger.
It was cold, and we had those air mattresses, and it lifted us up off the floor of the cave, which was great. So,
And they didn't clean out their sleeping bags when they were done, so I slept in their
Nice.
cave sand last night too.
us,
Yeah.
I shook mine out. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh.
It
So
was
she
sandy.
had cave sand in the
Uh-oh.
sleeping bag. Nice.
You know, Rainy,
So-
you know those thin blankets, the short blankets, they're like made out of, they're like a felt almost material.
Yeah.
They're real thin. I used to take those with me so that if on a nippy morning like that or during the night the temperatures dropped, I'd wrap myself in that, then get in the sleeping bag.
Why do we call cold mornings nippy mornings?
I don't know. Where'd that come from, nippy?
Where did that come from?
Nippy nipples. Come on.
Oh, I'm just asking for.
Nipples go nippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your nipples get hard, it's a tidbit nipply out there.
Oh, is that
There you
where
go.
that came from?
It's
That's
God's
what I think.
temperature gauge.
Did you just
Yeah.
There
make
you
that
go.
up, Rainy?
No.
I should tell her I thought it's because the baby was done.
Tippy nippies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're home.
Nice.
It's
Well,
nice to
I
see
still
you.
have breakfast cooking out there, so I gotta go.
Okay, bring me some bacon if you have any extra. Please.
We'll see. We'll see.
I want bacon.
Bye, Rainy.
Bye, guys.
I
Bye.
love you.
Bye.
You're beautiful.
I love you too.
Oh, she's icky. She said she didn't brush her teeth.
Mandy was
You're-
crawling. Mandy
you're
was crawling with spiders. Weren't you, Mandy? You were crawling around with spiders on your fossicking journey.
No.
So-
I just put my phone down there and I saw the spiders and I'm like, we are not going down there.
Well, I hope I didn't get up. I'm looking at the chat room and I missed a lot of things that people were saying in the chat room here. Sorry, guys. We were talking about the Constitution and civics and all of that. So I'm getting a lot of feedback from somewhere.
Mute, Mandy, mute.
If you can mute your the YouTube, there you go. There you go. Sorry to do that to you, Mandy.
Carly
but,
is awake. Hi, Carly.
Hi,
Carly's awake, says Roger Rabbit, a special guest. She's joined the party. How you doing, Carly? Good to see you. You should come on into the chat, Roger, and bring Carly with you. I'm standing up now, so I got to get a better stool. I got to get a tall, ergonomic stool for sitting, or a big chair. You know what I want? I told my son this. I want Captain Kirk's captain's chair. That's what I want. Now, I think that would be a little bulky behind a desk, but he said, you know what we should do for you? You set up your office, you use your captain's chair, you build it into the control panels, and you have the big screen TV as your computer.
That's
And that's
the way
what I
to do
need.
it.
Absolutely. I could do radio, and then you put a mic in, you bring your mic down, you have an overhead mic come down, and do your overhead mic at the captain's chair. Now, I saw those things. They came out with another run of those a few years ago. They were all gone in a heartbeat. They were asking like $1,700 for Kirk's captain's chair from Star Trek.
Wow.
Now, I watched Adam, I don't know what his name, Audrey, what's the guy name? They had the show Mythbusters.
Oh,
Adam Savage.
is it Adam Curry? No, not
Adam
Adam Curry.
Savage.
That's MTV.
Is it Savage? Adam Savage?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And he used to work, I think he used to work before he did Mythbusters. He was like a model builder and stuff like that with Industrial Light and Magic, and for years. And so now he's got, go over to YouTube and click on Adam Savage. And he's got his show, and I signed up for that. I paid a membership for that one for $5 a month, and I get to see his shows and all his private stuff. And he builds all these props out of sci-fi movies and models and all different kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's a great show. I love it. And but he's got one where he built his own captain's chair, Kirk's captain chair from Star Trek. And he built it from scratch. He started with raw materials. And it looked exactly like camera ready for the show, only it was better. He put in working control panels and all of this kind of stuff, and it was fantastic. So you go watch that one, and that's a fun watch to see how he did that.
They had Captain Kirk's chair at one of the Doctor Who conventions I attended.
Nice.
So I got to sit in that and take a photo. And
now Russ Haslage, who owns Odyssey Radio, he's got one of those because he's got a side company called the Federation.
Cool. Cool.
It's called the Federation. You can go to trekfederation.com or .org and see what they do there. You know, it's a charitable organization, but they also have their Star Trek memorabilia store, and he's got one of those set up in his office, and with the old bridge as a wallpaper background.
He even has a new robot concierge and his new robot mailbox. Did you see that? Yes. Pretty fancy.
So,
wow.
Pretty cool.
And he uses Starlink.
So Mandy, I'm not leaving you out of the conversation. I was actually kind of answering your initial thoughts and questions on democracy and stuff, how it's gone really weird in the world these days. And I think the only reason it seems that way in the United States is because we're not following the rules anymore. And, which is technically unconstitutional. It's illegal to do the things that are being done, but we're letting it slide because people, we want to change and we want something different. And it's like I left off when Rainey came in. You can change the Constitution, but the founders built in a daunting process to change the Constitution. So you can't just change it willy-nilly or on a whim. It's like somebody says, it's like even on the right, they wanted to build in the DOMA. Remember DOMA? The Defense of Marriage Act. They wanted it to become a constitutional amendment. Part of the Constitution, which actually would state you can only marry somebody of the opposite sex. And traditional husband-wife marriage. And I was against that. And I said, no. And these are a lot of people that were the far-right biblical religious conservatives. And I said, absolutely not. You cannot build that into the Constitution. And I gave all my reasons why. But the Constitution, if they had their way, and it was easy to change the Constitution, they could have voted that in and it'd be done. It'd be part of our Constitution. Then somebody else could vote something out of the Constitution if they had enough people. The thing you have to have, before you even get started, you have a proposal to amend the Constitution. And once you run that through Congress, it's got to go out, and 2/3 of our 50 states have to ratify it and say, we agree with this. And that's states. So you got to have 2/3 of 50 state legislatures agree that this needs to be done. Then it goes back to the Constitutional Committee and goes through all the rigmarole there before it ever can become part of the Constitution. And I think that was pure genius 250 years ago on the part of our founders. You can't take this Constitution and change it on a whim. It has to be something that the people, representative people, represented by their reps, go ahead and they work through this whole process. And it's a long, daunting time. Everybody nowadays, because the technology age and handhelds, they think this could be done. Why can't we change the Constitution in 2 days? We'll just take it up to Congress and vote on it. Well, no, it takes a year at least to change something in the Constitution, because you got to go through the process. And how many amendments do we have in the Constitution? I know there was the original 10.
30?
What do we got?
32? I don't know.
32, something like that now?
28, 20. I just vote, let's just get rid of Congress altogether. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're wasting our taxpayer dollars on trips to India and all these other countries. They're eating all our ice cream like melted Barbie doll. Let's just get rid of Congress altogether. Overthrow the government. Let's just have a new government at this point.
Well, that's what it would take. It would take an overthrow.
Yeah, but it would take an anarchy, complete anarchy.
Too many Americans are scared of the fact that they're going to be tried for treason. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If the current government's not working,
well, there's that.
What was that, Mandy?
Unless you have a system in place, though, that is going to replace the other system that's going to work, all you're going to do is create anarchy throughout the entire society and turn people against people. And I'm all for dropping the current government systems that we have. But until we put something there in place, and we do it out of a place of love, not out of a place of anger, because when we do it out of anger, all we're going to do is just build new foundations of anger and hate that are going to fall eventually. And
here's the new boss, just the same as the old boss. And the beards, they all grew longer overnight. That's exactly it. I tip my hat to the new Constitution. We don't fool the game.
It's an oldie.
Yeah, it is. It's oldie, but it's relevant.
Yeah.
Which just makes it very cool. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to have something to replace it. It's like if you want to amend the Constitution, you better have a plan, and you've got to present something that's cogent and makes sense, and to amend something like that. And so I still think after 250 years, no offense to you, Mandy, in Australia, or to anybody else listening from another country, I still think the United States has the best, purest, if you will. People can spoil it, but the purest form of government that works when people don't keep trying to do end runs around it because, I've got a better idea. It's like your better idea doesn't count. So that's where I think, by the way, back to the original thing, the whole thing about the election. I think the election, where I say I believe the election was fraudulent, is that in the last presidential election is because you had so much breaking and bending of the rules that in order to get something, and people didn't necessarily vote for Joe Biden. There was a whole sect of the country that wanted Trump out. And that's what they did. And they did whatever it took to do that. And the funny thing is that Trump got more votes in the last election than any president has ever gotten before, and still lost the election because of all the extra stuff coming in and ways they tried to get people to vote. And not every vote was legitimate. When you have a country of ours that has a population of about, I think it's 325 million people, and you have what is it? I think it was about 250 to 260 million that are voting age, that are legal adults. And out of those, you had 84 or 86 million that voted for Biden, and you had 75 to 77 million, almost pushing 80 million, that voted for Trump. Now, that tells you one thing: the country's divided right down the middle. But when people say Trump was rejected, he wasn't rejected. He may have lost fair and square by the numbers, but you've only got half the country that supported the other side. And so what does that do? Does that make Trump illegitimate suddenly in somebody that would? No, makes him somebody who lost, where you have a nation divided in two. And all it would take is a nudge to win that vote back. I think you're going to see that in the next election. You're going to start seeing a real groundswell to go the other direction again.
Biden's already screwed everything up now. He paid $5 million to these hackers for the pipeline.
Yep.
Which is stupid. Don't negotiate with terrorists. It's probably a 16-year-old kid in his basement in Russia.
Yep.
He paid $5 million for this crap.
That's it.
This guy's terrible. He needs to go. I don't care where he goes, but he's not fit to be.
He's not fit to be the president. There was a time, even though I disagreed with Joe Biden's politics, there was a time I respected the man. And we're talking years ago. This is before, I respected who he was. I liked him personally, and he had his shit together. And now, as I've said before, I almost feel sorry for Joe Biden, because now what's his legacy? If he had retired after being Obama's vice president, retired, been done, I'm done with this. I'm 75 years old. I'm going to go retire. And if he had done that, he would have had an intact legacy that didn't care. Doesn't matter where you were politically agreeing or disagreeing with him. He had a legacy that was solid. And now he got dragged into this, I think.
Yeah,
he got made some promises, or Jill got made promises. And you see him when you see him talking, and he says, "Should I talk now?" He says to somebody off camera. He's being guided through this. And I think he probably knows to a certain degree that he's there to be the figurehead to do what he did. What did he do in the first month that he was in office? Tried to, by presidential edict, executive order, undo anything Trump. That's all he was there to do. And I saw somebody said the other day, watch, it's not going to be long and Biden's going to step down. He'll either resign, which will put Kamala Harris in as president, which, by the way, Kamala Harris, the very first of the Democratic candidates in the last election to drop out because she had under 1% support. She dropped out.
Now she's
now she's 1 foot, and that was before everybody started throwing their support behind Biden. She had a lot of negative things to say about Biden, and now, of course, that's all brushed off. Well, that was just a political fight, and I get some of that. But here's somebody.
I'm not gonna resign.
Here's somebody who, Kamala Harris, who the nation rejected in the early stages of the campaign, who is now 1/2 of a foot step off of the presidency. And so what's going to happen? I don't know. I can tell you one thing for sure is going to happen. We have, and Mandy over here, we have what we call midterm elections. That's mid-presidential term. 2 years in, you have congressional elections to elect new senators, new House representatives. And that generally, in something that is so imbalanced in an election, if you had any president of his party that has a majority in the Congress, that's imbalanced. No matter if you agree with them or disagree with them, that's an imbalance. The system, by the Constitution, has built in the ability to check that balance. And you know what generally happens? Midterm elections, Congress gets new blood in there, and it's usually the opposite party. So right now, the left in this country has the presidency, and they have both bodies in Congress, the House and the Senate. Midterm elections in 2022, I think that's all going to flip over. And so that's why the big rush to push their agenda right now. They got to do it while they have the votes in Congress.
They only have the majority because it's 50-50 split.
Right.
It's because Kamala
Harris,
that's
the vice president, breaks the tiebreaker in the Senate.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason they have it. Now, all the right would have to do if they disagree with anything is convince anybody on the left that they need to vote the other way, which happens all the time. So it all is going to come down to whether or not the left is going to totally support the Biden.
Yeah.
And I only say, I want to spit up a little bit in my mouth when I say the Biden agenda. I don't think it's his agenda at all.
He doesn't have an agenda.
It's his handler's agenda.
That man doesn't know where he is.
And we say that, and we say that mockingly, but I really don't think he has the ability to be president. He's doing what he's been asked to do because it was like, we have to win this election. You have to be the guy we put in office. So, and I think he just agreed to that. He is sure. I'll do what you tell me to do. And that's what's going on right now.
He didn't have much of a choice. They told him, this is what you're doing. You know, go along with it. I think he wanted to retire.
All of this is why an alien invasion looks so good right now.
There you go. Come
on.
You know what I said?
I'm over here.
You know what I've said about an alien invasion?
Who do you think built Stonehenge?
If we actually had an alien invasion, or even more benign than that, alien first contact.
Take me.
And it was made public. Do you know what that's going to do? How will that change our governments in this world if we know we're just one little planet in a great swath of, call it a galactic federation, call it whatever. Even Carl Sagan referred to a galactic federation out there.
I hate to say it, but I think that the vast majority of them in Congress are going to crap their pants.
With an alien invasion, you mean?
Major fear.
Oh, yeah.
Massive panic. Call in the forces.
Sure.
Haven't they already announced that we've had first contact? Because where have we got all of our technology from? Reverse engineering from what they did with Roswell and from what they did. And so we look at that, and I look at the fact that I bought in 2010 a i7 processor on my computer, and the best I can get right now is an i7 processor. So in over 13 years, we haven't done anything with technology, but from 2000 to 2010, we went through 5 different operating systems with Windows, and we went from the Pentium 2 up to the i7, or Pentium 4 up to the i7. So we made so much technological advance in 50 years, but in the last 10 years, when we're more capable of doing technologically advanced than ever, you have scientists building supercomputers out of PlayStations because it's cheaper. So they've already announced first contact, and I think it's just a case of it might not be what it seems, but I think they've already announced that, and they're just trying to warm people up to the idea as such. And maybe this is why a lot of the political stuff is going on. Because, hey, what do you do if you're trying to blind the people? You put on a magic show, a great performance, and everybody buys into it. They want to go see the performance.
That's it precisely. And you know, we were saying 15 years ago. How old is the movie Independence Day with Will Smith? With the alien invasion. When did that come out? Like almost 20 years ago?
96, I think.
Did that come out in 96? Is it that old?
I think it's about 25 years old.
Now you're looking at that. Back when that came out, we were bombarded with all these movies and television series on alien invasion and surviving alien invasion and all of these things. And we were saying back then on radio, we were talking about on our show 25 years ago about we were talking about how it looks like there's a concerted movement to warm the world up to the fact that it's going to be commonplace once we find out there is alien contact and first contact. So what's it going to look like? Is it going to be an invading horde? Is it going to be like the conquistadors did to the Native Americans in South America and Mesoamerica? Is it going to be like the Europeans did to the Native Americans in North America? Is that what it's going to look like? They're going to be here and they go, hey, we'll give you all this cool technology in exchange for, the rights to your land. And when they're going, cool technology, that came out a millennia ago. They just don't know it. And they give us all that technology and they take over. They're going to eat us. Who knows? Who the hell knows what is actually going to happen? And I'm being a little flippant.
They're going to eat us like this Swiss roll.
There you go. Oh, speaking of that, I'm still smelling bacon. Mandy, you were going to say something? Thank you, Steve.
There's a lot of media drops lately where the Navy and the Pentagon has acknowledged all of the UAPs surrounding our ships down here in California. There was just another video released, I believe it was 2 days ago, by Jeremy Corbell, and that one's really interesting.
There's a lot of interesting information out there right now, and
every couple of weeks something new is coming out, and the government is acknowledging it. And there's the investigation that's going on too. It's supposed to be released next month.
What is next month? Oh, next month, yes.
That Senator Ted Cruz proposed. So that'll be interesting.
The crazy man from Texas.
And he's right.
He looks like Grandpa Munster.
Yeah,
and he's right.
He freaking does.
The older he gets,
It's
but
creepy.
he's a brilliant man. He's a brilliant man. And so he would have made. I kind of thought he would be high on the list for Trump as a Supreme Court justice. And that's another thing. The Biden administration now is trying to raise the Supreme Court from 9 members of the court to 13. And
they'll get away with it.
They'll get away with it. So they'll have the votes on their side.
This is why Ted Nugent needs to run for president. And I've told him this several times on his live streams. We need Uncle Ted for president. Just saying.
Why? Because of the Supreme Court decision?
No, because he's awesome. He knows how to
he's awesome. He's awesome.
He knows how to handle the country.
Sure he does. Everybody loved Ted Nugent until he came out to be a right-wing conservative. So then he gets downgraded in the entertainment industry. So,
but aliens are real. They're here, and they're going to.
Sure, they are.
They're going to eat your face. That's right.
They're going to eat your face.
I'm going to barbecue them. If they're reptiles, I'm barbecuing them.
There it is. Well, folks, we've been going for 2 hours. We've been going over 2 hours this morning. I love the conversation. We got to do this more often. Have all of you guys on and just fill this up and have some good conversation.
That was fun, yeah.
Over there in the chat room, Pure Love Ascension, my yeoman Jennifer, I need to talk to you. And we need to see if we can get you to come on the show. And
is Jennifer on here? Because I haven't seen her in the chat. She's invisible to me.
Who?
Jennifer. You're saying yeoman?
Yes. Pure Love Ascension.
That's Lori.
That's Lori.
Oh, I thought that was Jennifer.
No, Jennifer True Divine.
Lori, I'm so sorry.
That's Lori.
I was mixing you up with True Divine. Old man, there goes another brain cell. So sorry about that. But yeah, Lori, we could get you on too. Now that I'm talking to the right person.
Well, she said her hair was too messed up. She had bedhead.
Well, everybody, this has been a fun show, and you know what I'm gonna look at that. Yeah, look at mine. What I have left of it.
I cut 15 inches off my hair.
Yeah,
nice.
I couldn't even tell.
I don't have to sit on it now.
Rainey's hair goes all the way down to her buttocks.
You were sitting on it.
I would sit on it. Yeah, so I just cut it off, but I saved my hair. So I have because I
Scotty,
put it in costume.
Don't go there, Scotty. He's like, give me some of your hair, Audrey.
Yeah. I would very much like some of your hair.
Yeah. No.
It's creepy. You could sell it.
My costume.
Clip it up and put it in little glass vials. It costs like 25 cents to buy. Put it in there and sell.
I was asked if I was going to auction off my hair, and I thought about it for a minute, and I'm no. I don't want anybody to voodoo me with my own hairdo. So
I still have Egypt sand that's in jars, little vials that we put up. Sand from Senenmut's tomb, this guy back here, and from Gebel El Silsila and different places, and so.
That's cool.
Anyway, folks, I'm going to let you all go because we're going to Mandy. Bye. Thanks for joining us.
Bye,
we'll do
Mandy.
it again.
Bye, Field Guy.
Field Guy. Bye.
Bye.
There goes Mandy.
All right, I'm leaving here. All right.
There you go. See you, Teresa. Thanks for coming on. All right, everybody. So I want to thank you all for being here today. We did get a glimpse of Rainey today, which is nice. She smelled like bacon, which makes her even much more desirable in my book. So I'm going to go see if I can score some bacon and some Rainey. And so before she takes her bubble bath, well, she might be better after she takes her bubble bath. So she'll feel more relaxed, warmed up, and clean after a camping trip. So I want to thank you all for being here. Remember, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard, 10 p.m. out east, 7 p.m. Western time, West Coast Pacific, the Intrepid radio program right here on this network. So everybody, thank you for being here. And remember, have a fun Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow. And you know what? Live long and prosper.
You're listening to the Intrepid radio program with Scotty Roberts. Intelligent talk.